Hello, my name is Maria Bezzubova and you're at my channel Fertilizers Jazz. Here we talk about events, trends, technologies in the world of fertilizers and agriculture. Please subscribe to the channel, put like to this video, and let's jazz! Today is May 27, 2024 and it is a weekly markets update. Every Monday I will share with you my view upon the past week. So let's have a look at the news of week 21 and see what are the next trends. Last week was marked by the annual conference of International Fertilizers Association in Singapore. Of course, this is the most important industry event in the year, where market players meet, discuss and set trends for the future. As you remember, before the conference, I discussed with 3 industry experts their view upon market trends in quarter 2 and 3 of 2024. If you haven't seen these videos, please check them out. There are plenty of valuable insights. And today, I would like to summarize key discussions held at the conference and see how current market sentiment matches with the discussions that we had with our experts. Let's start with the nitrogen market and discussion that we had with Lewis Walters, who is a nitrogen market analyst from Syria. Lewis' expectation regarding general market situation in nitrogen was quite pessimistic, I would say. His evaluation was that general demand will be far below pre-COVID levels this year. During the conference, IFA presented their renewed demand forecast for several years ahead, which looks more optimistic. It shows that the market will reach pre-COVID level very soon and demand growth is back on track. To my personal opinion, Lewis' valuation is more realistic, taking into account global macroeconomic and political turbulence that is far from coming down and weak fundamentals at the farmers' level across the globe. But we all need a bit of hope, right? The other factor of instability of any forecast is the gas price and agricultural fundamentals. Our experts mentioned that gas price is unlikely to be the upside factor for Q2 and 3 because usually these months are the lowest in the year in terms of gas price. Same view was floating in the conference, despite some increase in the gas prices both in Europe and the US. The recent increase is more connected with the short-term supply factors market thinks. However, I would like to point out that this is still unclear. There is no unity in terms of further trend, so we will follow it closely. In terms of crops prices, all our experts mentioned that crops economics is still not favorable and it can support such fertilizers prices level. But from the other hand, there is clearly a bullish trend in the market now that was discussed in the conference as well. Supply of all key crops is negatively affected this year due to different bad weather conditions, like floods, frosts and droughts depending on the region. So the question is, what is that consensus where growing crops prices will meet with decreasing fertilizers prices? We will follow this question closely. Moving further to more fertilizers industry related factors. We discussed with Lewis that prices for nitrogen in Q2 and 3 will be under pressure, with more downside factors rather than upside. And here it is why. First, Indian demand is expected to be slow due to several factors. Elections that are happening right now, high stocks that were built in Q1 and partially 2, that indicates no need in large-scale tender yet, plus monsoon, which is a bit lagging behind, however, is expected to be quite healthy. Second, Lewis mentioned that supply from Egypt might be down somewhere around July due to gas cuts for the fertilizers industry that happen regularly each year. This factor might support the prices during lowest point in season for nitrogen producers. Third factor to mention, but definitely top factor in terms of importance, is position of Chinese producers and their export plans. Looking at the events of last week and the conference discussions, there are some changes to this list. In terms of Indian tender, the situation didn't change much. No more clarity arrived yet. The next tender is expected somewhere around July and maybe even later at the beginning of August, and its volume is still $1 million question. But price rally started earlier than expected because Egyptian government announced gas supply cuts already last week. Egyptian producers tried to use this opportunity immediately and support slipping prices, which led to Egypt FOB level correction to $315, $323. At the same time, Chinese producers decided to support the upward trend and announced that their focus for Q2-3 will be keeping domestic market prices stable. It means that export availability will be less, which supports price rally. However, general sentiment of market players in Singapore was that this rally is not really a rally yet, rather a short-term hike, which is not supported by market fundamentals. And I personally agree with this view. I believe that the market will see a downward trend in nitrogen prices at the beginning of Q3 and maybe even further, to the point of consensus between agri-fundamentals and fertilizers prices that I mentioned. Let's move to phosphates that we discussed with Alberto Persona, principal analyst of phosphate and potash markets at S&P Global. Apart from agri-fundamentals issues that we already discussed, Alberto mentioned two most important factors that will influence market dynamics in Q2 and 3. First is connected to the subsidies in India and especially timing when the subsidies will arrive. Second is Chinese export policy, the same as for nitrogen market. Last week, there were several news bringing a bit of light in these matters. First of all, Indian government hinted that the importers need to be in time with DAP imports for the coming season. And as a result, prices in several purchase tenders of last week increased by $20 immediately. Also, in the conference, rumors were circulating about increase of DAP subsidy, bringing up MRP, which is market recommended price, potentially by 3,000 rupees per ton level. If it happens, it will definitely support the demand and price level. However, it is not confirmed either in terms of value or timing yet. China, of course, remained the key market-forming factor and a key question mark for the market last week. Chinese FOB levels for DAP are stable, but there are signs of export supply scarcity. If those confirm, either in terms of short-term stronger domestic market consumption or more problems with production, market might see upside correction in June. From the other hand, NPK supply from China shows signs of increase, which might hold back price increase in phosphate fertilizers segment. But in general, market is in the waiting position for more concrete news from India after the elections. And finally, let's look into the ammonia market. We discussed ammonia trends with Silvia Draganida, senior ammonia editor at ICIS. Silvia mentioned that ammonia demand is expected to increase in Q2 and 3 across the globe. However, it will not help to support prices, also due to supply increase expected in Q3. Discussions in the conference demonstrated that demand in EU is more or less covered, same as in the US. New Tampa price is expected to be announced next week, and most likely it will come with a downward correction, which only partially might be offset due to continuing Trinidad gas supply cuts. New supply from Russia via Taman is expected to appear in June. However, there is no 100% confidence that it happens that soon. Also, the US Gulf Coast project is expected to come on stream, but again, exact timing in Q3 is a question mark. To sum up, market players are not confident that the current price rally, especially in nitrogen, can be actually supported by fundamentals. Clearly, crop prices are not at the consensus level yet. That's why we might see further downward fertilizers prices corrections in Q3. Indian demand, including potential subsidy increase for DAP, is the most important demand factor to watch. There will be more clarity after elections. Finalization in June. Chinese export supply of both nitrogen and phosphates for Q3 is still the largest uncertainty. However, it is clear now that Chinese producers will try to do their best to support price levels, or at least not let them slip further. And of course, we will watch the situation in the natural gas market to see where the current upward trend ends. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, put like to this video, and see you next week in the weekly update.